Alright, by the way, I should mention too that you can find the LMS activity information under next week's course content area. I forgot to point that out. It was part of the presentation that I made, but here it is, Building a Course in a Learning Management System 1. And you can look at LMS Assignment 1 here and open it up, and it will show you basically the same things that I just presented in my presentation about what's required as part of this experience. So that's what I just presented on, but you can get that here anytime you want to. It's in the November 12th through the 17th week, and it's due November 17th, so it's due the end of next week. Alright, so let's take a look just a little bit. I wanted to give an intro to D2L and building a course in D2L. So I've got this LMS Activity 2 course, and I've got under content, each of you have your own week's worth of information that you can create, and I've got my own Greg's week right there. And so just to show you some simple activities that you're going to have to create in this, for instance, in order to create like a description for the week or dates and restrictions, you can go right here and you can choose a start date for this week. And this is a feature that I haven't used as much in D2L, but you can use this and you can say, let's start November 5th, 9 a.m. and let's go to November, I think it would be 10th for this class at midnight or close to midnight, 11:30 or whatever you want to do. You can update that activity. But when you want to add your learning objectives, I think the best way to do it is just to go right here and add a description, and you can talk about the topic for the week and the learning objectives for the week right here. And just kind of list them out. Now remember, learning objectives are a very clear statement about what students should be able to do once they have completed this week's worth of activities. And so you might have probably 2 or 3 of these, and you might use a bullet point to make those, and that would go right there. The topic for the week, it talks about your name in here, but you could probably change this, or you could add in, well, you probably should leave your name for my purposes, for my grading purposes, but you could add in something like the topic for the week or what we're going to be learning about. You can change the title here. And so that would be the learning objectives part of the assignment. And then within the content area under here is where you might add some more items. And you can do even sub-modules. I probably wouldn't recommend getting too deep into sub-modules unless you have a good instructional reason for doing this. But yeah, you can add sub-modules, which is basically a sub this thing. These are all a module right here. But what I would do instead is just list the activities that you want to add. So if you're going to create a file, for instance, or a link to something else, you can do that. A file basically is an opportunity for you to enter information, text, pictures, that type of thing into a window like this. And so this is a good way to do maybe readings, to list out your readings in here, and that will provide the information to students that you want them to have. Or maybe a link. You can use this link tool to link to a video and then publish this on your site. And it will create it and show it to you, and then you can go back to your site. So now I've got readings here. You can create a link to video or audio. That could be your readings, in quotes, so to speak, as well. Or just a link to a video that they're supposed to watch on YouTube, let's say. Or add from manage files. This could be a file that you have uploaded into the documents for the class. And I believe there's some instructions on how to do that, but if not, you can go to table of contents here, and then you can choose the manage files button right here, and you can upload an actual file to the class in this way, and then you can link to that file within your area, your week of D2L. And so that would be under add from manage files. And so you can do all of these different opportunities. And there's new checklist. A checklist is basically just a list of things students should do. I didn't ask you to use that. There's a new discussion, and that's how you create a new discussion forum for students to respond, or a discussion thread. A new Dropbox, and that's where you might create an assignment for students. A new quiz would be what you'd use to create a quiz. And then add existing activities as if you have created something already. So let's say you created a discussion previously to this. You can link to discuss and choose which one you've created to add to your week of activities as well. And quizzes as well, and so forth. Because what you can do, I'll show you too, you can go here and you can go to discuss, for instance, and you could create a new forum. You're going to create a new forum and a new topic, and then you go back to content and add that into your week's worth. It's an existing activity now, so you'd add it into week's worth of activities here. I'll go ahead and add one from a previous class, and so forth. Now, if you've created a bunch of activities and maybe they're not in the right order, it's very easy to reorder them. You just use this little drag tool to drag them up above one another, and they'll move around in the way that you want them to go. So this is basically how you create content in a learning management system, or at least in Brightspace D2L. All right, well, good luck on your assignment, and let me know if you have any questions about anything.